Hey, you said that you've been shot at and, attempted murder on your life. Why? Because of what he read earlier. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. We should not come together in that type of unity. The type of unity that brothers want to see. They want to come together in drug dealing, whoremongering, murdering each other, shooting at one another, killing one another. That's the type of stuff that we got to eradicate. We got to come away from that. Black people can't grow like that. Hey, before you go down, right? Before you go down, get you talked about unity when you first came up, right? Get Amos chapter 3, verse 3. You talk about the unity. How should we come together, Daryl? How should we come together?
I don't know where we lost.
Hey, is that your $4 down there?
Yeah, it is. I don't know where we lost. Thank you. I don't know where we lost this trust and this unity between each other, man. Why so quick to see? I've been shot and I almost died myself.
But is that you heard what he put?
I don't know why we doing this to each other.
Hey, you said that you've been shot at and attempted murder on your life. Why? Because of what he read earlier. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. We should not come together in that type of unity. The type of unity that brothers want to see. They want to come together in drug dealing, whoremongering, murdering each other, shooting at one another, killing one another. That's the type of stuff that we got to eradicate. We got to come away from that. Black people can't grow like that. Go ahead and read this.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 3. Can two walk together except they be agreed?
Can two walk together? Can we come together as black and Hispanics unless they agree? What do they have to agree on? They have to agree on what the scriptures say. They got to agree on not murdering one another. They got to agree on not hating one another. They got to agree on not killing, prostituting their women, not whoring out the daughters of Sarah. Okay? Prostitute, whoremonger, read it again.
Can two walk together except they be agreed? Will a lion roar in the forest?
Give me Mark chapter 7, verse 21. This is the type of mindset. If you want to come together, we all have to agree in the same mindset. The scriptures is what's going to bring us to that. Watch this.
This is a book of Mark chapter 7, verse 21. For from within, out of the heart of men.
From within, out of the heart of men, out of the mind of you black men, out of the mind of Daryl, out of the mind of the men that's standing over there in the corner. Okay? Out of the heart of men, read on.
Proceed evil thoughts.
What come out of their mind?
Evil thoughts.
What?
Evil thoughts.
The things that we have to change and eradicate, Daryl, is the evil thoughts that come out of their minds. Such as killing, drug dealing, murdering, hating one another, whoring out your women, not taking care of your kids, not keeping the commandments of God. Those are the things that we have to change on Remount Road. Those are the things that we have to change in Charlotte, North Carolina. Those are the things that we have to change in the ghettos across America, where our people live at. Okay, because they don't want to keep the laws of God, you continue to see the conditions that our people live in. You understand that, Daryl? So that's the unity that we got to come in together and read on.
Adultery.
Adulteries. We can't have adulteries in our communities. How many brothers out here don't mind sleeping with married women? How many of the women don't mind all the time, right? We got to get rid of that. Because with that come when say a man catch another man, a married man catch a man inside his house, what are you going to do? That's a death wish right there. So we got to eradicate that. We got to change that mindset. That is a form of hatred. When you were willing to sleep, you're trying to ruin a family, Daryl. Okay, when another man sleeps with a man's wife, you're trying to ruin that family.
I tell people all the time, man, they listen to all these false prophets on social media. And
exactly. These prophets and these entertainers, all of them, they don't care nothing about their community. They only care about themselves.
Nothing but a check, man. Nothing but a check.
Right. Go ahead, read on.
Fornications. Murderers.
Fornications. Okay? These boyfriend and girlfriends, sneaky links, jump offs. We got to get rid of that. Because then what? The women end up getting pregnant. The man don't want to take care of the kid, and then what? Then there's abortions, then you got the Plan Bs, you got all of these things going on. We got to stop that in the black community.
That's right.
But we need men like you, Daryl, that's willing to listen to the word of God, and that's going to stand up for the word of God. and hate one another and murder one another. We don't need that no more.
That's right.
We done with that. That's the type of mindset we got to come together on, Daryl. Go ahead.
Murder.
Go ahead, what you say?
You gotta start banishing, man.
We do. We got to start. I like that word. We got to start banishing them.
That's right.
That's why when you see drug dealers on your corners, when you see drug dealers standing at your gas stations, what you think you should do, Daryl?
It's a punishment for them, man. I mean,
Now, you hear my question?
Everything goes on a scale.
You hear my question though? When you see drug dealers in your communities, right? They selling to your kids, they selling to your mom, they selling to your grandma, they selling to your sister, they selling to your wife. When you see these drug dealers, Daryl, what do you think you should do?
But I got a question for you.
No, before you get to your question, Daryl, I need you to answer my question. When you see these drug dealers that's selling crack, that's selling heroin, that's selling weed, that's selling fentanyl, when you see these drug dealers in your communities, what do you think you should do, Daryl?
You know, in the old days, it was a severe punishment for stuff like that.
It was a severe punishment. What is that punishment?
Man,
What about today? What about in 2023? What type of punishment is there today?
to confront them, then guess what? You know, they got the laws of America that's on their hands too. You know, I mean, they're going to face...
Listen,
criminal
hold
court.
that. I got you, Daryl. Because you stammering all over the place. I got you. Give me Leviticus chapter 5, verse 1.
Right.
If you tired of the conditions of your community, you gotta first be willing to make the changes.
Right.
And don't be scared of nothing. Right. You gotta. The only thing you need to be scared of, Leviticus 5 and 1. The only thing you need to be scared of is the fear of God. That's it. Man, don't worry about who can kill the body.
Right.
All you need to worry about is the changes that you need to make within yourself, and then you can go out and change your communities. You understand, Daryl? When you got the fear of God, you're not worried about man. But this is the answer to that question. Watch this, Daryl.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 5 and verse 1. And if a soul sin,
If a soul sin, if you see these young men, I don't care, young women out here selling drugs, they in the midst of sin, they in the midst of hatred, they in the midst of murder. I got you, read on.
and hear the voice of
You
swearing.
got to do more than educate them, because we've been talking to them for too long and they're not listening.
Right.
Sometimes you got to get accountability. Sometimes there got to be consequences. Sometimes there got to be repercussions for the evil that they're doing. Go ahead.
And hear the voice of swearing. And is a witness, whether you have seen or known of it.
So Daryl, if you are a witness of drug dealers, they selling right there on your stoop. They selling right there in your communities, on your corners. If you are a witness of that thing, Daryl, this is the answer. Read on.
And if he do not utter it,
If you don't say nothing, Daryl, go ahead.
then he shall bear his iniquity.
You're going to bear that iniquity. Meaning, not only is God going to judge you, that same hatred, that same murder that's going on in communities, you're going to have to live with that.
Right.
So don't say nothing when they sell to your daughter. Don't say nothing when they sell to your son. Don't be mad now, because when you seen it, you didn't say nothing.
That's right.
When you had the chance to say something, you said nothing. You sat there and watched it. You sat there and watched that thing go by. Go ahead, read. Read it again.
And if a soul sin, and hear the voice of swearing.
So if you see your brothers and your sisters in the midst of sin, such as drug dealing, for example, and you don't say nothing, go ahead.
And is a witness,
You are a witness. You see it with your own two eyes. Go ahead.
whether you have seen or known of it. And they do not utter it.
And it goes even farther, Daryl. It says if you see it or if you even know about it and you don't say nothing,
Then he shall bear his iniquity.
you're going to wear that iniquity. So your job, Daryl, as a man in the community, as a man that want to see change, your job is to say something.
Right.
And if they don't want to adhere to you, call the damn cops on them.
That's right.
Yup, call the cops on them.
You know, it's right down
A lot of times, too many people. Oh, real quick, Daryl, I got you.
I'm finna go though. I ain't trying to cut you.
Go ahead, Daryl. Go ahead, Daryl.
The cops the one giving this stuff talking.
That is happening, but besides that, when you gonna walk off now?
You know, I want to say something.
Go ahead.
I'm from Orlando, Florida. I had that very COP. I've had police put crack under my.
That is true. I'm not
Have a
saying,
good day, man.
Daryl.
We
What does
can't
that mean?
attack, but we
That
can't-
just
we
because
can't
what the
attack
police
them.
is doing,
We
that
can't
means you
attack
gotta
them,
you don't
bro.
stand up and be a man. Because the police is doing something, that means you stop being a man now. That's the problem with our men. They act like little children.
That's right.
He said we can't attack them.
We can't attack who? We're not attacking them. What we're doing is changing the mindset of our people.
Right.
Go back to Mark chapter 7. They scared to tell on the supplier. They scared to tell on the ones that's hitting them off.
That's right.
Giving them a little rock on the side. They scared of that thing. Why? Because they want to fulfill their lusts.
That's right.
Go ahead, read.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 7, verse 21. For from within, out of the heart of men.
Out of the mind of men, out of the mind of you black men that stand out here on the corner. You don't want to take care of none of your kids. Or you don't want to get no job.
Right.
All you want to do is sell drugs, pop pills, drink, okay, and pop women.
That's right.
That's all your life is about, which is nothing.
That's right.
You got no real purpose. Go ahead.
For from within, out of the heart of men, proceed evil thoughts.
Proceed evil thoughts. Now you're seeing real men stand before you that's willing to come out here, and when they see sin, they're willing to make them changes.
Right. That's right.
But you black men don't want to hear it. Y'all love y'all sin. You love the conditions that your people are in.
Right.
Go ahead.
Adulteries.
Adulteries. You don't want to change the mindset of adultery. Why? Because you want to fulfill your own lusts. Go ahead.
Fornication. Murder. Thefts.
Murders. Murders. There's multiple murders going on in Charlotte. And because you were scared to say something, now snitches get stitches.
Bring it out.
Come on now. We can't make changes like that in our communities. Go ahead.
Theft. Covetousness.
Much theft going on here on Remount Road. Much theft and robbery going on in Charlotte,
Right.
North Carolina.
Right.
Which one of you men gonna stand up and raise up for God
Right.
and make the necessary changes that's needed?
Wake them up.
Or are you too scared? Are you too scared to make those changes?
Bring it out.
Go ahead.
Covetousness. Wickedness. Deceit. Lasciviousness.
Uh-huh.
An evil eye. Blasphemy.
Evil eye. A lot of you men have evil eyes towards one another. Y'all might have evil eyes towards us just for coming out here and correcting our people.
Right.
Tell them to get themselves together. Tell them if they want to get the kingdom of heaven, they need to change their mindsets. A lot of y'all think that we doing wickedly. No. It's high time that you wake up, Israel.
That's right.
It's high time that you black men wake up.
Teach out.
Go ahead.
Blasphemy. Pride. Foolishness.
A lot of you have too much pride on you.
That's right.
Too much pride on you. And it makes you look foolish.
That's right.
The things that you are doing are foolish. They are childlike ways, childlike behaviors. What's going on, my brother?
Why we went in slavery? Look right here. See that happen? God allowed that to happen.
Okay, so you want to know why we, how you doing? I'm not sure. What's your name? Russell. How you doing, Russell? Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28. So Russell wants to know, that's an excellent question. Russell wants to know, why did we go into slavery? Why are we in the conditions that we are in today? That's a good question, Russell. Let's let the word of God speak. Go ahead.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So this is Moses speaking to the children of Israel. You know who Moses is? This is Moses, a black man at that, because he was mistaken for what? No. What was Moses mistaken for? Moses was mistaken for an Egyptian.
That's
So what did the ancient Egyptians look like? They were dark, right? So who was that in the movie, The Ten Commandments? Charleston Heston. That's a white man. So you see the confusion? So Moses, that came out of the tribe of Levi, okay, Moses was a dark man. He was not a white man. So Moses was speaking to the children of Israel, which is also dark people, right? Okay, read that part to me again. My brother, the brother right here, Russell, he wanted to know, why did we go into slavery? You know black people went into slavery, right? Correct. He wants to know why. Do you have the answers for him?
No, I don't.
You don't, right? Okay, so we're going to let the Bible give us the answers, because that's an excellent question. Why did we go into slavery? Why are we in the conditions that we're in? Why do we hate one another? Why do we sell drugs to one another? Why do we prostitute our women?
Right.
Why do our women commit abortions at alarming rate?
Right.
These are all things that happen to us because of our disobedience to God. That's your answer.
Right.
That's your answer, but we're going to let the Bible say it. Go ahead.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15.
Uh-huh.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
if the Israelites, if the 12 tribes of Israel do not listen unto the words of God, unto Moses, Moses gave them the commandments. A black man, go ahead.
To observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So, what's going on right there, Russell? I want to see if you're paying attention.
Say, if we don't, we are disobedient all the curses.
So now with that understanding, let's find out. Let's see if we fit these curses. Because then in knowing if we fit the curses, we'll know why we went into slavery and we'll know who we are.
Right.
Give me verse 46.
Bring it out. Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
The curses will be upon us, Russell. What's your name? Right here. Maurice? Russell and Maurice. Okay, the curses will be upon us for a sign and for a wonder. What does a sign do? I know that's the X sign because of the sign, right? So the curses are going to be upon us to identify who we are. Read on.
Bring it out. Because thou servest not.
No, go to verse 16. So let's get some of these curses and see if we fit them. Because these curses came upon us. Why? Because we was disobedient. Just want to make sure you pay attention. Go ahead.
Verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city.
So Moses told the children of Israel, if you do not listen to God's commandments, cursed should you be in the city. Let me ask you, say it again? Maurice. Let me ask you, Maurice, are we cursed in the city? Russell, are we cursed in the city? You say yes, how? How, Russell?
Drugs, killing each other.
Say it on the mic, say it on the mic.
Drugs, killing each other.
Do you hear what this older man is saying? That's what we've been telling to the youth out here. Because of drugs, that's cursed in the city. Okay, because drugs ruin families. Because drugs ruin your life. Okay, whether you selling them or doing them. Drugs doesn't benefit you no way, shape, or form. So cursed would you be in the city? We cursed in the city because we getting murdered by our own people and by the other nations. We get murdered in Jacksonville, Florida, where they going into the Dollar General murdering us. Where they going into the grocery store in Buffalo, New York. Where they going into our churches in South Carolina. Hold on, Russell. Watch
My
this.
wife, wait.
And cursed.
Let me get two more scriptures.
Go ahead.
Just to show you.
And cursed shall thou be in the field.
And cursed shall we be in the field. How are we cursed in the field? By serving. Why did we go into slavery, to answer your question? To picking cotton, to picking tobacco. We had yokes of iron upon our neck because we disobeyed God's laws.
That's right.
It's better to obey than to sacrifice. It's better to obey God's laws than to do your own thing. When you do your own thing, you see the conditions of our people. That's why we went into slavery. Go ahead.
Cursed shall be thy basket. And
Give me verse 48.
verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
So because we didn't want to serve God, now we're going to serve our enemies. We're going to serve our enemies how? Nigga sold to Master Charles in slavery. You understand? Go ahead.
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
God sent our enemies against us because we disobeyed him. Go ahead.
In hunger.
In hunger, we got to serve our enemies. If you want to get food, you got to go to Harris Teeter, Food Lion. None of our people own those things. In slavery, they had to feed us. Okay, go ahead.
And in thirst.
And in thirst.
And in nakedness.
And in nakedness.
And in want of all things.
You have to go to your enemies, Russell, in the want of all things. Go ahead.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon.
And he, that enemy, should do what?
Put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
And that same enemy, Russell, this is why we went into slavery. That same enemy shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
That's right.
A yoke of iron upon thy neck. A yoke of iron upon our neck. That's why we went into slavery, because we disobeyed God's laws. Read on.
Until he have destroyed thee.
Until, Russell, you have been destroyed. Watch this. What's your nationality, Russell, before you go? What's your nationality?
African, black American.
You are black American. Your shirt is black. You cannot go to the land of black.
That's right.
Africa. You say you're a black African American. What country? Africa is just a continent. What country you come from in Africa? You don't know why until what? You have a yoke of iron on your neck, now on your mind, until when?
Until he have destroyed thee.
Until that enemy have destroyed you. Destroyed you enough that you're willing to stand on the corners and sell drugs to your own people.
Right.
Destroyed enough that you're willing to sex this sister, get her pregnant, and allow her to kill your seed.
Right.
You were destroyed enough that you won't even marry the sister. You're destroyed enough that you won't take care of your kids.
Right.
You're destroyed enough that you will hate one another to the point where you will murder them over colors.
Right.
That's right.
I've been married 50 years.
All praises to the Most High. Russell, we need you to be an example to these young black men out here. Because they ain't marrying nothing.
Right.
All they want to do is pop this and pop that. Go ahead. Give me verse 68. Bring it up.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
And the Lord, his question was, why did we go into slavery? For the disobedience to God. Okay? And the Lord shall bring us into Egypt, bondage, restraint, misery again with ships.
Right.
How do we get over here to America? Maurice, I'm sorry. How do we get over here to America? By ships. But did the Bible prophesy that? Let's see, read it again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
And the Lord shall bring you into bondage again with ships. This was written well before we went into slavery on ships. So that's telling you this has to be a true book. Hold that. Give me Isaiah chapter 46, verse 10. This has to be a true book because this was written well before we went into slavery on cargo slave ships. You understand, Maurice? Watch this. Read that.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 46 and verse 10.
Officer Asa, get ready.
Declaring the end from the beginning and from the ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand.
You see that? God declared the end from the beginning. He knew that you black men will be standing on the corner selling drugs and hating one another. So he declared the end from the beginning and said, if you will not hearken unto his commandments, he will put curses upon you.
That's right.
And to the point where you will hate one another. You are willing to kill one another. You are willing to sell drugs to one another.
That's right.
He declared that from the beginning. And now you're fulfilling that prophecy. Out here standing on the corners, working your way to an early grave. Out here standing on the corners, working your way into prison.
Right.
That's the only thing that you're doing. You ain't working to get money. You think you're working to get money, but you're working your way to an early grave and you're working your way into prison.
That's right.
Understand that thing. Go ahead.
And I will do all my pleasure.
God said he will do all his pleasures. Go back.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
And the Lord said he's going to bring you black men, Israelite men into slavery again with ships. 1619, we went into slavery, cargo slave ships. Okay, we went into slavery with ships. In 1492, Christopher Columbus came over here to the Americas, north and south, and collected the so-called Native American Indians and brought them back to Europe on slave ships.
That's right.
This is prophecy that happened. Read on.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
And the Lord shall bring you into Egypt again with ships. Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
We will not see our homeland no more again. Read.
And there you shall be sold unto your enemies, for bondmen and bondwomen.
And you should be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. That happened to us. That is Bible prophecy that happened to us.
That's right.
Okay, we were sold to our enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you. It's nation time.